All right, so we had our first sort of like snow, sleet, like rain, whatever, last night. And I'm just out here driving to work. I just actually want to test the roads here and see kind of how the Volt performs with these Continental tires. But you can still see there's a little bit of slush on the road still. And the Volt is really handling it just fine. So I'm not sure if these roads are actually slippery or not. I guess we'll find out here on this overpass, but you can still see the road. Oh yeah, it's a little slick in some spots, but I am impressed with the Volt here on how it's handling this kind of icy, thin icy surface of a road. You can see there's some dry spots, but the spots that aren't dry, as I want to put this in sport mode here to see, the spots that aren't dry are frozen. So now as I go to stop, I stop really good. And then as I floor it, it gained traction pretty good. The traction control system did have to come on. Now as we go over more of an ice-covered bridge here, now you can see just how icy it is. I'm really struggling to come to a stop. So if we floor it, you could see, you could really even hear, the tires. They're just spinning. It's essentially just sit and spin right now on this ice. But I have to say, here we're driving and we're kind of all over the place. But I have to say the tires that I have on here, these Continental True Contact Tours, they are actually very good just on this light little dusting, as they should be. Now, granted, this is a 4,000-pound car, but with most of the weight low, I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with the handling. I feel not overconfident here, but I feel like, as you can see now, we've got road salt on. It's amazing you go from one township to the next. Who puts on road salt and who doesn't? But I have to say I'm quite, oh yeah, you could see the road salt just fly off the back of the vehicle. So these roads are fine. But I'm often amazed here with the Volt at how competent and how competitive it is in the segment, and honestly the hatchback segment, not even being a plug-in hybrid, because it's front-wheel drive, it's pretty responsive, and it feels very safe on the roads. And that's ultimately what you want in this sort of front-wheel drive vehicle. You want to feel safe on the roads, especially in wintertime. In summertime, with these correct tires on here, the Continental True Contact Tours, this drives great. I really don't have any complaints about it because it's just such a heavy vehicle. It just hugs the road. All the center of gravity is down low. So that makes it a very competent driver. And now, as we hop on the next county road here, this is all salted. This is all wet. We're all ready to go. So I don't really have to worry about anything here. So I'll put the drive mode back into normal. But really, I have to say, just that little bit of icy driving, I'm impressed. And granted, the tires help out a lot, but I am thoroughly impressed with the handling dynamics of this vehicle in this sort of icy, sleety, conditions here. This car is truly one of the greatest cars I've owned, and it even makes it that much better that it's a competent driver in the wintertime in these kind of crappy conditions, because it's such a heavy vehicle. And it's front wheel drive too, so that does help. But it's such a heavy vehicle that it holds its own on these roads. But now as we're approaching a bridge here that appears to be salted very, very, very well. which it is, it's impressive. So I thought I'd just do a little update here. Chevy Volt, first kind of little mini snow precipitation video here, and I give it a great thumbs up. 2 thumbs up, actually. So with that being said, guys, we'll see you in the next one. All right, just adding a little addendum here. So the roads, as you pass from township to township, you could tell which ones have the budget for salt and which don't. This township here, I believe the township of Dallas, non-surprisingly, doesn't have the budget for salt. So there's a lot of dirt on the roads, and I just don't like dirt on the roads when, you know, you are driving in the wintertime. The problem is we don't have any snow in the forecast now for like another 2 weeks. So now this dirt is just going to sit on the roads and cause windshield chips, as it already has, which you can barely see, which I have to get fixed. But anyway, those roads back there weren't great. You can see here there's some more, it's just ice, basically. Ice, snow turned into ice. You can kind of see that as we're driving here. Some of the roads have dried, and the middle part is basically ice. So the sides are fine, but now if I were to put one tire in over in that ice, you know, the car still comes to a stop. It says low traction, but it still comes to a stop. And then when you accelerate, you get basically full acceleration force. And yeah, there is a little bit of a delay when you go to push on the accelerator pedal, because it is spinning a little bit, but overall it's pretty fine. And I have to say I'm quite impressed. Here we go, and we have another little stretch here that isn't great, but again, I have one good traction tire here and one bad. But I'm impressed. I'm thoroughly impressed with it. One thing I'm not impressed with, and it's probably because some of my testing here is my range that I have left. It's only really about 14 miles. Take a look here. It's really only about, 13 miles to work. So to only gonna arrive with less than a full, less than half a battery power left is a little frustrating. But right now it appears the roads are fine, and we should have a nice little bit of a travel left into work.